Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news. We're going to be talking about a roundup of the news that went out last week from Star Citizen and CIG, but also a little bit about the Super Hornet Mark II, Alpha 4.0.2, which is now an Evocati, all that sort of jazz. So there's a sneak peek of the Super Hornet Heartseeker Mark II in the newsletter from CIG this week. This is going to have a show about it on Tuesday the 11th, where the Super Hornet Mark II, at least probably the Heartseeker, will appear. And yeah, we're also expecting this to turn up during the Core Amore event, so around February 14th. I believe this will round out and complete the Hornet Mark IIs, but it's interesting because I'm interested to know if people are going to really like the Super Hornet, because effectively the F7A Hornet Mark II is also available, right? Which is the military version, and people might actually prefer that. Fight for Pyro! Phase 2 is live. Jump into the verse now to represent your faction and shape Pyro's future. Which side will you choose? So the Fight for Pyro continues with new missions. Join your preferred faction, and that will affect the future of the game. So the winning faction, I believe, that they're going to evolve the mission and narrative according to that. The two phases of that sort of mission set are available, and that's all you need to complete. So there's two parts of this mission, two phases, and you need to complete 6 missions from each phase to basically get a reward, which is the Ripper SMG, which will be permanently added to your account. Also, if you completed previously in 3.24.3 the Save Stanton set of missions, then completing the Fight for Pyro missions will also get you a load of faction-specific skins for the C8R Pisces, the Carrack, the Drake Cutter, and the Zeus Mark II. I actually thought there were going to be more phases to this, but that doesn't appear to be the case. What does appear to be the case is that CIG are going to be doing roughly monthly patches, and they're going to have a mission sort of arc and narrative going on similar to this with each patch, or with a lot of these patches. So effectively you have until Alpha 4.0.2 goes to live to complete the Fight for Pyro, and then that will be gone, and whatever else they've got new will turn up. I've said it multiple times, but I will say it again, the faction that you choose, the sort of intro mission for them, that will lock you to that faction, so just be aware of that. There are 3 to choose from. So what will actually be in 4.0.2 live, and I suppose when are we getting it? So we've got 4.0.2 currently in the Evocati phase. It's got an NDA on it. We can talk about it. We can talk about the patch notes and the content, but we can't show any screenshots or videos or anything like that specifically of stuff recorded in that patch build. So 4.0.2's release goals are highly focused on 3 key points: to improve and fix as many top key gameplay issues as possible, improve connectivity and stability, and begin the latest supply or die Pyro event. And that appears to be the next sort of narrative mission set, an interesting thing that's going to be happening in these builds. So this build pulls in all current bug and stability fixes that were not compatible with hotfixing from 4.0.1 and all that sort of jazz as well. The focus is stability, performance, bug fix testing, and that supply or die event. Without giving anything away in full detail, CIG said supply or die is Pyro's answer to Jumptown from the Stanton system. This event will run throughout the PTU cycle in 4.0.2 and have factions to join. So I think a lot of the narrative events they're running and mission cycles that they're running will very much reappear later, slightly edited as part of general missions that you will find throughout the verse. The expectation from me being that they're building out loads of mission sets, more and more missions each month, and these will get chucked into the pool of missions in some way so that we actually have tons of content, which is basically one of the things that CIG are now saying they are focusing on. CIG continue, this is going to be a PvP event once out of Evocati, but during this time keep the Evocati no PvP rule in effect until further waves are open. PvP only allowed when players consent. That's just a general typical Evocati thing. They sort of tell you what they want you to test in a build, and you're expected to stay within those boundaries. It's not for you to fly around, have fun, and do whatever you want in Evocati, but they'll go, and you might actually be disrupting someone from doing a test or trying to replicate a bug or something if you attack them. Some additions to that patch beyond that. Heavier items will feel a bit more weighty with the tractor beam. They've added new distance values to the spawning of salvage ships around rest stops to avoid cleanup. The Misk Fortune has had a LOD and Art Polish pass, as has the Mirai Guardian. They've removed extra personal storage from the Tumbrel Storm, and they set the correct storage amount. There are a load of bug fixes. There are a load of blockers at the moment. It's Evocati. There's a load of big problem bugs. But they've also made some changes with networking stuff to help with load times. AI Planet Navigation's had a performance polish pass. Hangars have had performance optimizations. They've made further lighting and rogue entity performance polish passes for landing zones. When that build is a bit more stable and some of the blockers have been cleared out of it, or it goes to a wider PTU phase, I'll check out that in a bit more detail, that patch, and what I'm more interested in, the supply or die event. Though I'm not expecting anything particularly groundbreaking with these missions, they are going to be interesting for players to do and should hopefully keep them coming back for more. Some other bits and bobs that you might have missed from the week. CIG, during a Star Citizen Live special that went on for over 3 hours, announced a massive amount of changes to Star Citizen's development. They're having monthly patches now that are focused on stability, performance, playability, and content. So content being expanding out the gameplay that's already there, adding missions, basically less in the way of new features. Star Citizen Live and Inside Star Citizen will be on every Thursday, sort of alternately, and there are going to be some other regular episodes of stuff that we'll see weekly or every so often, with like BTS behind the ships. And in fact, on Tuesday we're going to have one on the Super Hornet MK2. Yeah, I've got a full breakdown of that video, a big summary of that huge 3-hour sort of interview with Benoit Beausejour, which you can check out on my channel. The Red Festival, that's still in full swing. You can celebrate the Lunar New Year with a referral bonus, community contest, and Arena Commanders Kill Collector mode, and more. That continues with various activities for everyone to enjoy. Get involved with that. There's also a free envelope stand in the pledge store at the moment, which is perfect for displaying your Red Festival envelopes. I'll put a link to the newsletter down below so you can get to that and click all the things that you want to click, get your free envelope stand or whatever. I did see during the week, or I heard from Zin that Chris Roberts had a little mini interview on a BBC radio programme. We had a quick few bullet points from that interview. Basically, the sort of interviewer asserted that this is like the most expensive single piece of entertainment ever, whereas Chris said, well, probably the most expensive movie, or almost, but not the most expensive game. There's obviously games that have been going on for ages that make and develop with huge budgets. The crowdfunding on the website shows over $783 million of crowdfunding. What are people paying for? Chris talked about some version of the game being playable for over a decade. Some people play thousands of hours even now. This sort of game is made in collaboration with players, and it is this beautiful vision of a universe where you can do a load of stuff and visit places that you see in the distance, actually go there. Being this highly detailed universe where you can do what you want is the sort of pull for that, and it could only be made now with the technology they have and the backers and funding model that they have. And like WoW, even after a 1.0 commercial release, they're going to be adding new functionality and content. It's a lifestyle for some people playing Star Citizen. The interviewer then asked, why aren't games like Star Citizen covered more by a big media and it's sort of in the papers and that sort of stuff a lot more? Why is it movies that are sort of more of a focus? And Chris said, well, he doesn't actually see that. He thinks that games are bigger than TV, bigger than movies. Games are a massive industry. Legacy media might not cover it so much because there's a bit of a stigma there, but he sees the industry as absolutely massive and not suffering from not being covered in the same way as potentially films. At least that's my sort of understanding of what Chris was saying. It wasn't a hugely in-depth sort of interview or anything. It was more of a, people don't really know that there's a video game that's made almost $1 billion in crowdfunding. I suppose that's basically what the interviewer was asking in that last question, is like, why don't more people know about this? Interestingly, I do think actually in 2026 with the release of Squadron 42 and people seeing that the big names attached to that, that it's going to be a lot more mainstream Star Citizen. Anyway, I'm really interested to know what you think. Are you playing in 4.0.2? And if so, what's your experiences of that? There's quite a lot of blockers and bugs at the moment. It's a typical Evocati build. Are you looking forward to a faster pace of patches, a monthly patch from Star Citizen? Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think it's terrible for the project, great for the project? Do you like the look of the Super Hornet Mark II? And did you get involved with the Fight for Pyro event? And are you looking forward to the new event coming in 4.0.2? We're giving away a Misk Fortune with a load of the Red Festival skins, a game package, lifetime insurance. It was given to us by CIG. All you got to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during this month. Also, having your comment, helps the videos. It helps gear me towards doing particular video types or whatever based on people's opinion of what's hot topics and that sort of jazz. Also, if you would like to further support the channel, like, share, subscribe, all that sort of jazz as well. There's the join button. We also have things like NordVPN links below. Oh, nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Go there, get yourself some NordVPN. Oh, it's the best decision about a VPN you'll ever make, probably. Also, Tobii Eye trackers, they're on sale for the next couple of days still, and that will give you some precision head and eye tracking in Star Citizen if you are so interested. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.